Hi, ghouls and gals and fabulous pals. My name's Mona, and I really like books. And today's video is gonna be like a bit of a book recommendation, but also like a mini book haul. Because besides these books here that I have already read and I want to show you and recommend, I also have here free books that I have not read. I'm very excited to, and I also want to show you. Now, the books today are in the horror realm, or at least I see some also in the horror realm. You'll see what I mean because I'm sure some of you would disagree that it's horror. And the rest, I think, yeah, they're also in the horror realm. Yeah, the book haul ones. Without further ado, let's get into the books and see what happens. I really hope you like them and let me know if you read any of these or if you plan to. Let's start with the small ones. I have here the Romanian edition of Blindness by Jose Saramago. If you're curious how this is pronounced in Romanian, it's called Eseu despre orbire. So it's not blindness. I think it's translated from the original Portuguese that has the same thing like essay about blindness, because that's basically the quote unquote title in Romanian. Anyhow, what's the book about? It's about basically a pandemic of blindness that hits the human world and the consequences that happen due to that. There's also a woman who's the wife of an ophthalmologist. I'll put the word here, the eye doctor. I cannot say it in English. And she's immune. So the wife of the eye doctor is immune. So that's a bit kind of funny, but in a very macabre way, I would say. And the book basically shows what humans can be capable when such a pandemic strikes us. It's a bit heartbreaking and heartwarming at the same time. It's also gut punching in some areas, I would say. But Saramago has his own way of writing that I think it's just amazing. And he also does a thing, I'm not sure how visible this will look, but the man barely has any punctuations in his stories. So keep that in mind. That might be tiresome for some people, this style of writing. If I'm not mistaken, I think some here, or one, I'm not sure, I don't remember exactly, but I know one for sure has the same style, like no punctuation. But funny fact, he did win a Nobel Prize. I'm not sure because of this one, but he did get a Nobel Prize in literature. So kids, if you want to be Nobel laureates in literature, just write like you don't care and write very interesting things. So yeah, blindness is like a very weird not apocalyptic, pandemic horror about humans and what we're capable when such things hit us. Yeah, recommend. Oh, there's also a movie with Julianne Moore, if I'm not mistaken, from 2011. I'll put a picture here. I'm gonna mention each book and the movie adaptations because I'm also a bit of a movie buff. So yeah, you're gonna see that as well. So yeah, try it out. Honestly, any book from this guy, try them out. They're awesome. The next one, this is the one that I'm gonna hear most that this is not horror, but for me it is, and I don't know. Maybe you'll agree after I say why. This is Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov, and it has here on the cover Jeremy Irons, and I'm sorry to the young lady, I don't know her name, that played the 1971 movie. Yeah, the 1971. There's also one from 1965 from Stanley Kubrick, of all people. So yeah, but I believe Mr. Irons' best role it's in. I'll just put a picture here and you can guess. So yeah. Um, why I consider this horror? Well, this book is basically the testimony of a man who prefers minor girls, I think under 15, under 14. He calls them nymphets. So yeah, it's a bit of a gross situation, honestly, horror, because what the girl is put through because of this man's obsession to have her is horrific, and how her life ends up is fucking horrible. Not to mention what happens to his mom, to her mom, my apologies, to her mom, and you know, the man is just awful, awful. He also falls into the unreliable narrator part because it is his confession and it's written really very good. Unfortunately, it's a very good not Jesus Mona, very well written book. It's a very well written book, and I think it's even studied in universities in some places. But I don't know, as a woman and as a girl, or who used to be a girl, it's like the worst case scenario that could happen to someone. So yeah, I consider it horror, and it was very hard to read the book. So if you wanna, I don't know, get angry, read it. And unfortunately, the one thing that really bugged me with this book that he didn't necessarily have his comeuppance, Humbert. I think he died like of cancer or something in the book. Very underwhelming, undeserved. He should have deserved worse. Anyhow, the next one. Is this the most disturbing one? Oh no. This one is Naomi's Room by Jonathan Aycliffe. I read this last year, actually. And I know this author has several pseudonyms, and he wrote a lot of books. But this one I heard a lot through the Horror Vine on Horror Talk and Book Talk and on booktube. And I found it, I read it, and I kind of recommend and don't recommend this at the same time because it is very short. But let me just see. 1 second. Okay. So it has 28 chapters, okay? From this, chapter 25 to 28, this is where the most messed up shit happens. What's the book about? The book is about a couple, very academic couple, very smart people, who lose their daughter. I think it's during Christmas even. It's very horrible. They lose their daughter. It's very tragic. They also recently moved to like a house that's maybe haunted, maybe has something to do with the kid missing. It's a very detective type novel at the beginning. It also deals, of course, with the parents going through the roller coaster of emotions and guilt and all of it, anything that you can imagine when something like this happens. But as I said, it has 28 chapters. From chapter 25 to chapter 28, anything you think that could happen does not happen. It's actually worse. I don't mean to spoil it, but it has a bit of a not a bit. It has a lot of assault scenes at the end that, and also a murder that was like, what the hell? And there's also some supernatural stuff that makes this happen that isn't that, I don't know, active in the rest of the majority of the book. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is I don't think the last 3 chapters merit the craziness that they put you through. I'm sorry, I'm still overwhelmed with this one. This one really took me out a bit. I would have liked this one to be like 50 pages, maybe longer, to justify what happens in the last 3 chapters because Jesus, goddamn Christ. Oh, it's written good, don't get me wrong. It's written good, simple, very simple for the story that it is. I think it's quite great. The man knows how to write. But I don't know, I needed maybe a bit more, I don't know, more from the supernatural thing, more to justify how the characters end up in the goddamn situation that they end up in. It's whew. Brings a chill down my spine, honestly. I mean, try it out, but don't say I didn't warn you. The last 3 chapters, goddamn it. Next one. Theritual by Adamnevill. I really like this one, but I'm gonna say something maybe controversial. I prefer the movie adaptation. There's a Netflix adaptation that's with the same title, and I do think it's better, although The Ritual the book has chapter 12, which I think is one of the best written chapters I've read in a while. Both the movie and the book concentrate on a group of friends that decide to go on a hike in the Scandinavian wilderness to try to get out of the monotony of life, so to say. They're old friends, so they've been through a lot, but their lives are different. But once they take a detour through the woods, stuff happens. I don't really want to get into it because I do think you should read it. I also think you should watch the movie because it's really good. Again, I think it's better than the book. In my opinion, where the movie did a better job, it's they introduced like an extra motivation for the characters to go to the Scandinavian forest that's not in the book. They just decide to do that. And also the villains differ. Yeah, they differ a lot. The villains here are a bit more, actually, a lot more talkative. In the movie, they're not really, maybe one of them. But here, they're really talkative. Like, think of the evil villain who says their plan to the hero once they capture him. Something like that. The monster that's in both the movie and the book is pretty cool. But seeing it, like in the Netflix adaptation, visually striking and honestly beautiful, in my opinion. But still, I think the book is still good. But I still believe the movie is better. Like I think they focused more on what needed to be focused on, and the book just rambles a bit more than it should. But either way, both are very good in my opinion, just in different ways, if that makes sense. Anyhow, check them both out if you want, and let me know. Am I right here? Is the movie better or no? I don't know. And fun fact, I put my husband to watch the movie The Ritual because I wanted to get his opinion on it, and he called it, especially when it ends, how to make a Viking movie. Again, watch it and tell me if that makes sense, but he really likes to say that. The next one. I think we're going to the territory where you get your heart broken more and more right now, and with this one especially. This is the Romanian version of Stephen King's Pet Cemetery. In Romanian, we call it Cimitirul Animalelor. Yeah. Is there anyone who doesn't know what this book is about? I'm really curious, because goddamn. This is about the family of a doctor called Louis Creed. The Creed family moves to Ludlow, I think. Yeah, Ludlow, Maine. And one of the family members, unfortunately, passes away. Again, I'm not sure if people... one of the kids die, okay? One of the kids die. There's a cemetery near the pet cemetery that's basically run by the Wendigo. And the father decides that he's gonna bury his kid there to get him back to life. And the book basically deals with that action, but also with... It deals a lot with what means to be a parent, and I really like that. It also deals with all the stages, again, that parents can go through when such a thing happens, even though there's another child there, and stuff like that. And it's honestly heartbreaking, the book. It's gut-punching. It's, like, the slow contamination of the main character to make all the bad decisions, but at the same time, I don't know, I'm not a parent, but can you blame him? Like, I don't know. It's really bad. It's really bad what happens here. And I really like the book more than any of the adaptations because it really shows the inner thoughts of the characters and what they are going through as the awful things happen. And it's like such a salad of emotions. And the ending, one of the best Stephen King endings ever. Ever. Like, damn, it's horrible. Horrible. Read it, please. I know the 89 movie, that one is okay. There's also the 1992 movie with the kid from Terminator 2, I think, that has barely anything to do with the main story, but it does have the amazing Clancy Brown in it, and I think you should watch it just for him, okay? Just for him. What else? They made other stuff. They also made that 2019 one where they switched the kids, and I thought that was pretty stupid to show that in the trailer. Why? The last shot of that movie is pretty creepy, but the movie itself, mm-mm. I also saw recently, I think on Christmas I watched it, that stupid freaking prequel, Pet Cemetery Bloodlines, that focuses on Judd. And it got me so confused because I thought it's the prequel to the book, or worst case scenario, the prequel to the 89 movie. No, that fucking prequel, Bloodlines, is the prequel to the bad movie from 2019 because the dates didn't make sense what they were showing in the movie. What a waste of movie that one was. Just read the book. Just read the book. Another famous book made into movie. Again, this is the Romanian edition. I think this is one of the most awesome covers ever. This is The Exorcist by William Peter Blatty? Blatty, yeah. I don't know why I wanted to say Bladies or Baileys. Anyhow, yeah, if you like the movie, read the book. It's pretty much the same, just that, a few characters are missing, especially a detective. I'm sorry he's not in the movie. But other than that, it's great. It's a great book. And I really like how the characters, and especially the mom, Chris, goes through all the freaking possibilities. Everything. Just to figure out what's going on with her kid. Until she reaches the possibility that maybe she's possessed. But that comes very, very late in the game. So yeah, read it. I think this one has like 6 movies in total in the universe, in the cinematic one, including the one from 2023, and I also think they have a TV show. Forget about them, just the original movie, just that is okay, but other than that, read the book. It also has a sequel. I cannot remember the name. I think it's Legion. I'll check and I'll put it up. But I'm not sure if that one's good. I don't know much about it. If you have read the sequel too, let me know, okay? Next up, we have Hex by Thomas Old Hevold? I don't know. Anyhow, this is a debut novel that the guy wrote when he was 16. This is awesome. It also has a very Stephen King inspired ending from Pet Sematary. I don't know, they were so freaking alike. What's the book about? It's about a town cursed by a witch. I don't really want to say more because it's so unique and so cool and so creepy. Basically what happens is because of this curse, some of the teenagers try to do something about it because they don't really like their life because of that curse, because of the witch. And due to what they do, awful things start to happen, and whoa boy, it's a lot of people suffer, a lot of people make mistakes that the consequences are very big. So yeah, if you like stuff like Stephen King's Pet Sematary and you want to, I don't know, stare blankly at the wall after you finish the book, read Hex. I think it's awesome. I do want to read more from this guy. I think it's absolutely great for a debut novel. Goddamn. The next one, it's Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. The only book I read from her, but after reading it, I want to read Gone Girl. This woman knows how to write. I think this was also her debut novel. I'll check, I'm not sure, but I think so. Correct me if I'm wrong. This one also has a great adaptation on HBO. It's a miniseries with Amy Adams. Very good. This book is awesome. It deals with a reporter that has to go back to her hometown because some crimes happened there, and her family is insane. She also deals with self-harm, and not to get a bit personal or sad, but just to say that as someone who dealt with that, I think Gillian Flynn did a great job showing what someone who self-harmed goes through and how they feel about those actions. I think it's great. The ending, damn, like, woo, it's great. It's really great. Check out the miniseries if you don't want to read it. And honestly, I cannot wait to read Gone Girl as well. I want to read more from this woman. She writes great, very great. The last one I have read, and I do recommend, it's a manga or a graphic novel. I don't know, correct me. It's Junji Ito, Uzumaki. This guy is awesome. I don't know if you know him or not. He's one of the best fucking storytellers and one of the best manga artists out there right now. Um, his stories go through the absurd, like, I don't know if you thought Lovecraft or I don't know any other guy who does the absurd does it great. No, no. This one is the maestro. I'm trying to find a panel here somewhere to show you, but I don't want it to be too graphic. My goodness. Oh, just show the beginning, Christ's sake. Anyhow, his art is pretty cool. Not sure what you can see. What's this one about? Basically, a town gets haunted or attacked by the concept of the spiral. That's it. And from there on, stuff happens. And it's awesome. And it goes in places you would never, ever, ever expect. And it's great. And it's brilliant. And I hope I get more money so I can buy everything this man wrote, because it's amazing. Also, have you seen that stupid Netflix adaptation of Junji Ito's stories? Why would you make them in color, Netflix? Why? Thank goodness, and I hope they do come out with it soon. Is it, what's it called? Adult Swim? Yeah, Adult Swim is coming out with the Junji Ito adaptation of Uzumaki. And from what I saw from the trailer, they do want to stick to the original artwork. Black and white. Thank you. Thank you, Adult Swim. Godspeed. Put that thing out already. That being said, let me show you the mini book haul of the books I want to read that I do think count as horror. And that would be Hubert Selby Jr.'s Requiem for a Dream. I saw the movie. I know what I'm getting into. I'm very curious. Okay? I want to suffer. Sorry. I heard you suffer in this. And yeah, I thought it wasn't just Saramago. This guy also seems like he doesn't like punctuation. So yeah, I'm very curious. If you read this, be careful. Lou Reed. Oh god. I cannot wait. Yeah. Next up. Oh, this one. I wanted to read it for so long and I finally found it. It's the Romanian edition of Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy. And in Romanian, it's called Meridianul Sângelui. I heard so many things about this book. I'm so curious. And it's a Western. I never read a Western, but I heard it's absolutely horrible, the world there and the things that happen there. And famously, a lot of people tried to make this book into a movie and they could not for several reasons. I do want to go down the rabbit hole of Blood Meridian, but we'll get there when we get there, but I do want to read it. I cannot wait. And last but not least, because I saw the movie, I got the book. I have not read it yet, but I want to. American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis. Need I say more? Patrick Bateman and what's going on there? And the book is, I don't know, maybe it's the edition, but it does appear long either way. I'm very curious about the characters, the conversations, and honestly how fucked up this can be compared to the movie. I'm very curious. I hope it's more fucked up than the movie. I'm ready. So yeah, that would be all the books I have for today. Wish me luck to get to these as soon as possible. I'm currently listening to Dune, by the way. I get it. But that's a video for a different day. Anyhow, let me know. Do you consider all of these books horror? Especially the ones that maybe don't appear that much on the outside? Let me know. Have you read the other ones I mentioned? Again, let me know. I really hope you like this. Thank you for listening to my rant about books I read and will read. Hope you liked it.